Everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be all about a reading challenge that I have for 2023. This is number 3 out of 4, so we're announcing them. We're almost done. I want to finish series. I did attempt to do it last year. I did achieve it, but barely. Honestly, it didn't feel great. It was definitely the reading challenge I did the worst at, but we're fixing that. We're doing it again because clearly I need it. So I want to finish 10 book series. That is the goal. For the rules, technically I can finish a series or I can catch up to a series. So let's say I've read the first book and there are 3 that are out of 4, then I have to read, the third one. Although this can be tricky because sometimes another one comes out a last minute. This would happen to me last year. And then I haven't, caught up to the series. So it can be dangerous. And then the last way to do that is to give up on a series. So again, let's say I've read the first book, I'm reading the second one, whether I finish it or not. If I decide, you know what, I'm not enjoying myself. There's so many books out there. Like, I don't want to torture myself and force myself to finish them. So I give up on it. That can also count for my 10 finished series. It doesn't feel great though to rely on that. So I'm going to attempt to not need that. But last year, that's the only reason I achieved my goals. So we're doing it again, like I said. So we're going to start with 10, 11 book series that I think I will finish this year. I will attempt to. We're going to start with the ones that there's only one book and I'm really excited for it. And then we're going to go into maybe. There's even one in here that I haven't started, but I know I will finish it this year. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the ones on my shelves because I want to go back to reading fantasy and sci-fi. I didn't read as much last year as I usually do, and there are some on here that I bought the whole trilogy because I buy most of my books used, and if I see something I was wanting to read, might as well pick up all 3. So yeah, then you can tell me in the comment section to pick up something. So one series that I will for sure finish, I'm hoping to even finish it this month, is the second Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. This is The Lost Metal, which is, like I said, the last book, the 4th book in the second Mistborn series. And I really enjoyed the first series. It's like Dark Ages, medieval inspired. This one is more like Western. And then there are going to be 4 series. This third one is supposed to, correct me if I'm wrong, be like computer age and then like spaceship for the last one. So it's really interesting to see how the magic system and the world building are affected by the time and the technological advancement. In this case, again, Westerns like guns. So you can really see how the magic system is affected by it. And I was less emotionally invested in this story so far, although I really like the characters, the banter between them. It's more like investigation, murder mystery kinda. And knowing Brandy Sandy, this is the last book. There's going to be something epic. I'm really looking forward to that one. And even though it's on the chunkier side, it's only one book. We can do that. I'm excited for it. And like I said, I did start this one and I have access to the audiobooks. So I'm hoping to finish it this month. Hopefully. The second one that I only have one book to finish the series, Children of Memory by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the 3rd book in the Children of Time series. Children of Time, which is book 1, which I have right here somewhere. Ta-da! Has to be one of my favorite first contact with aliens ever. You have one side, remnant of humanity, versus on the other side, giant intelligent spiders. And I was rooting for the spiders. So I feel like if you manage to do that, you're a great author. And the ending, so unexpected, really enjoyed it. So book 2 was also entertaining. You were introduced to a 3rd layer in this battle. And then I have no idea what's going to happen in book 3. We didn't even know for sure it was coming out. So I'm excited. Again, kind of chunky, but it's one book. I've enjoyed the series so far. It's hard sci-fi. I want to go back into it. So like I was saying, last year I didn't do super well with that challenge. I swear I just stopped starting series, which was the goal because I had previously started like 20-something series in a year and only finished 1. So that's why I was doing this challenge, because I was doing so poorly. And I swear my subconscious was like, let's just avoid reading sci-fi and fantasy. That way you don't have to finish series. So there's one series that isn't sci-fi or fantasy in here. And it is the Neapolitan, I think, series. I've only read the first book, which is My Brilliant Friend. This is more like historical fiction. In book 1, you have this woman who, her friend disappeared. They're in their 60s, and then she writes to her basically their whole life story, their friendship. So book 1 is their childhood, and you get like a really complex female friendship, love, hate. They both are from this small neighborhood in Italy, and things are pretty interesting, let's just say that. And the ending, the ending. But the only reason I haven't finished, because I have 3 books to finish it, is because this screams summer to me. And I finished book 1 during the summer and then got caught up with a bunch of other things and didn't finish the rest. So I've been waiting for, I'm still going to have to wait for the sun to come back. But when it does, I will be reading, I'm pretty sure I'm going to binge read this series and finish it, hopefully. But I have a good feeling for that one. I'm going to enjoy myself. But yes, it is 3 books to finish it. Let's go back to some of the ones I only have to read 1, because I feel like they're the reasons that they're here, because I think it shouldn't be too complicated to do that. So the first one is the book following Vita Nostra. It's not out yet, so it's supposed to come out. And this is a translation. I believe there are 4 books in this series, although they're not all, you know, during the sequel. They're like more companion novels, from what I've heard. But this is one of the weirdest books I've ever read. Magical School, kinda. Dark Academia, kinda. But I need to continue, because even the ending, it's clear, but it's not, and I need to see what happens next. So the second book is coming out soon. I believe it's the first half of the year. So when it's out, I will be reading it, and I will be caught up with the translation. The next one I want to read is The Fate of the Tearling. This is the last book in this trilogy. I feel like I used to binge read series as a kid. I would start one and finish it, and I stopped doing that because Booktube. I used to even focus on series that were completed, and I stopped doing that, and I feel like I have to wait, and always a new shiny thing that pops off. You hear great reviews, you pick it up, and then you're stuck waiting for years for the rest, and this is why I'm here. So I started the series last year, was really enjoying it. Well, book 1 was really fantastic. Book 2 is a bit all over the place, and I've heard super controversial opinions about the third. Apparently you're gonna love it or hate it. I don't know where I will stand, but I'm looking forward to it. This is like a fantasy. I'm saying that because the second book, there's kind of another genre in there too. So kind of fantasy series, and I need to know. I'm very curious to see how I'm going to feel. And again, it's 1 book. It is on the chunkier side, but they're fast reads, so we can do this. I can do this. One that I've only read the first book. I've read Jade City, really enjoyed it. Kung Fu, kind of like magic, but like kind of mafia, like it's 2 family trying to control the city. Usually not my thing, but I found myself super emotionally invested in the characters. So I have book 2 and 3 to read. They're all out, so I can complete the series. Jade War being book 2, I need to, you know, catch up. This one is really chunky, and I know book 3 is even bigger, so I can do it though. I want to just see how I feel about it. Like, I started it, I was enjoying it. Why did I not continue right away? We're fixing that. So again, adult fantasy series. I have 2 that are dangerous because for now, I don't know why I struggled there, but for now, book 3 has not been announced. There is no date, or at least there wasn't as I was preparing this video. So there's the possibility that I will be effed over by the end of the year if, you know, it comes out unexpectedly. We're hoping it's not going to be the case, but book 1 was The Rage of Dragons. Really enjoyed it. Also an adult fantasy series. What I liked is that it's an epic revenge story, yes, but it had 2 tropes that I'm usually not a fan of, but I ended up really enjoying in that book specifically. For example, reluctant main character, like he doesn't want to learn to fight, but he kind of has to for the revenge. And also someone that learns to fight really fast. I'm usually a big hater of that, but it makes a lot of sense in the context. So again, I got really invested, especially in the world building magic system, even though we get just a little bit. I'm just like really curious to continue. So why haven't I? I do also like dragons, even though once again, they weren't playing a big part in book 1. I think we're going to see more of them in book 2. And also there's the romance. I'm hoping it's not going to be too big in here, because we saw glimpses in book 1. I was like, not feeling it, but you know, still, I need to see. I want more magic. I want more of the world building, and hopefully I'm going to get that in The Fires of Vengeance. I don't think I said that, but hopefully you could see it. But yes, I'm looking forward to this one. Like I said, book 3 is not out, but if I finish this one, I would catch up, so it would count. And then the other one that is similarly, I read book 1, Shadow of the Gods. We have book 2, which is The Hunger of the Gods, adult fantasy series once again. This one is really popular. I enjoyed book 1, but I feel like less than everyone else. It's Viking inspired, which is probably why I didn't care as much for it. But I really like the magic system. The ending was really strong. You know, old gods that have disappeared or half day, and like the magic was really cool. The only thing is I feel like I wasn't really invested in any of the characters, and I feel like it's hard to believe they survive in that world. I would die instantly. Let's just make that clear. I would not be a good protagonist whatsoever. But it's a bit intense. But I want to see if book 2 is going to be better. I've heard it is better than book 1. So I still enjoyed book 1. I feel like I'm making it sound super negative. But like it was a 4 stars, you know? I just expected it to be a 5. And I'm hoping that book 2 will be that. But once again, very chunky. Most of these are fantasy, so that's usually the case. So there's that. I also wanted to include one. I've only read the first book, but book 2 and 3 are out and they are on my waiting list at the library. So I could binge read them if I enjoy book 2. So book 1 was The Thursday Murder Club, and right this second, I can't think of the title of the other ones. I'm going to put them on screen. But what I liked is the premise. You have this group of old people. They're like in their 70s, 80s, and they have the murder club where every Thursday they try to like revive like those old cases and try to figure it out, which I like this idea. Book 1 was okay. I liked it, but I wasn't super invested in the story, even though I love the characters. I've heard that book 2 and 3 are even better, so I'm going to push through and see. If I enjoyed book 2, I'll read book 3. If I don't, I might give up on the series. I'm hoping not to because, again, really cool premise. I feel like there aren't enough books with older main characters, so hoping for the best. And then I wanted to throw one in here that I haven't started, but I know I'm going to read the whole series. Unless I hate it, which I don't think so, but I've been binge reading some Octavia E. Butler. So do not judge the cover of this book because it's ugly. Okay, my editions, pretty much all of them were very, very ugly. But when I like them, I confirm I've liked them, I buy pretty editions. It's just their combined editions. So like it was really easy for me to collect them before I tried anything by her. It's just one book instead of 4 in this case. But I know they're ugly. Stop judging. She is one of my all-time favorite authors at this point. I read Kindred by her, so 1 book in 2021. And then last year I read 5 by her and loved all of them. So I think we can easily read 4 in 1 year. Maybe the book club on Patreon, we're going to read that. I mean, all of them are like 200 something pages. They are all sci-fi, subgenres of sci-fi, different ones. Like she has one that is time traveling, one that is first contact with aliens, one that is post-apocalyptic. I'm not sure which one this one is, and frankly, I don't want to know. I want to go into it not knowing anything, and I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, she's one of my favorite authors at this point. So 4 books, but like in total in my edition, it's about 750 pages. So should be not too difficult. So yeah. So these are my official top 10-ish series that I think I can finish in 2022. 3. Oh my gosh, I was going to say 1 at first. I am gone. So yes, I'm nervous because like I said, last year I didn't do super well, but there's also the possibility that I will just start a new series. So let me insert a clip of the series that I have on my shelf. Because you can see I have a lot of series, like I said, that I bought the whole trilogy when I was used book shopping, especially adult fantasy, and I've been looking forward to reading them. I just haven't because I haven't been reading that much fantasy, and I do feel bad about starting new series when I have a million that I have already started, but feel free to convince me that I need to start some of these. And there's also some big series that I want to savor, like for example the Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson. I've read the first 2 books. I will most likely read book 3 this year, but I don't want to rush since book 5 is not coming out anytime soon. It's going to be like 10 books anyway in the series, so I don't want to rush. And then there are other ones I'm trying not to prioritize, like the Wheel of Time series. I have read book 1, but I mean, I'm not going to finish the whole series this year, so I don't want to make it too high a priority because I want to focus on the other ones that I am in the middle of. So yes, as you can see, this is going to be a big challenge for me. It's not going to be easy, but I know I can do it. 10 isn't too hard. I'm not going to stop myself from starting new series because, again, I've been kind of in a slump with fantasy in general. So if I can finish 10 out of all of the ones that I mentioned, or the ones on my shelf, or even some at the library, I'll just be happy. Frankly, I'm just going to be happy. I don't want to make it more stressful than it needs to. If you want to do the same, let me know. We can motivate each other because, like I said, I used to do this super easily without thinking. And Booktube happened to me. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'm going to be putting on the screen the 2 other challenges that are currently out. So one about classics and one about read it or unhaul it. So this jar that contains 400 and some unread books from my shelf. So for a week, I will focus on reading books from this jar. Some of them are part of series, so I might, make some progress randomly like that. But yes, that's the second challenge. That's it. I'll see you in an upcoming video very soon. Bye.